Very good morning, everyone. Hope you all must be doing great. Today, I'll be discussing with you a very important topic that how you will be presenting your paper. See, how you have to utilize those 3 hours very effectively. See, we were studying since last 6 months, 10 months, a year or so. Now it's time to perform. We have to give the output of those months, those hard work which we have put in. We have to give it in these 3 hours. And I'm telling you, it is very easy. And I'm sure that you will perform very well and you will turn out to be successful in these examinations. There are few basic tips which you should follow. I would like to discuss them one by one. See, first of all, I would really recommend you that please read the instructions. You have received the admit card, right? So I would request you to read the instructions which is given in the admit card. Please read them carefully once. Spend some 10-15 minutes on that. Please read them carefully. One of the very important instructions which is mentioned over there is that, and which is very quite serious. Never make any identification mark on your answer sheet. I understand it might be unintentional also, but I tell you that institute takes a very strict action on it. So let's say if a student is making any identification mark, although unintentionally, let's say he or she is writing the religious symbol, let's say that person is writing Om, or they are writing 786, or they are writing, they are marking they are writing the symbol of Jesus Christ. No, please avoid doing that. Strictly, institute prohibits such things. Every time we see there are certain number of students whose results are held by the institute. The institute never release their result. Why? They after that, after the result, they receive the letter from the institute that they were using unauthorized means. Although I understand that it was unintentional, but institute consider this as an unauthorized means, and the attempt can get wasted. So please never make any identification mark. Second important thing is that carry proper stationery with you. I am not saying that buy expensive pens, buy any other pen. No, you should carry the same type of stationery which you were using during your practice. If you were using any company's pen, please carry that company pen only. Do not buy any expensive pen that this is my first paper. Today I'll buy a 200 rupees, 500 rupees pen and I'll write using that pen. No, never. Please use the same type of stationery which you were using. Very important thing that at least carry two calculators. This is very important, guys, because I have seen that there are certain students who was carrying just one calculator and their calculator went out of order and they were not able to perform well in their examination. Carry your primary calculator, the one which you were using in your practice, and also carry one backup calculator. It might be old, it might, you can just take it, any of your calculator which your family member is using or any of a friend is using, take it, borrow from them, right? But it should be there with you. At least a backup calculator should be there, especially in those practical papers like accounting, costing, income tax and all, right? Please carry the calculator, at least two calculators. Next important thing is that how, okay, one more thing which is there, that your paper will start at 2 p.m, right? 2 p.m in the afternoon. Examination question paper will be provided to you 15 minutes before. At 1:45 paper would be given to you. Please use that 15 minutes very efficiently. During those 15 minutes, read the question very carefully, each and every question, read the requirements of the question, and also during those 15 minutes, decide that which question you have to eliminate out of the options, right? Which questions you would be opting and which question you would be eliminating. I would highly request you that 1:45 you will get the paper. You should be in your examination hall, you should be in your examination room at least 15 minutes or 20 minutes before that particular time. So I would say by 1:30, please go and sit at your seat, because it will take some 5-10 minutes. Your mind, you have to settle your mind, guys. So you have to make yourself familiar with the environment. So it will take some time, it will take some 5-10 minutes. Go and sit calmly at your seat, right? So it will 5 to 10 minutes. If you will sit calmly, you will be able to compose yourself and you will be able to perform so very well in your examination, I'm telling you. See, if you will rush, maybe you are stepping from your house some 10 or 15 minutes late. So I'm telling you, your mind will be so occupied, you will be so disturbed that person will not be able to perform well in their examination. So it is very important that please reach your, please be seated. In fact, I would say please be seated by 1:30 in your examination hall. Next important point is that how you will be structuring your paper, how you will be structuring your answer. See, it is very important. If I talk about, let's say, income tax, I'm talking about MCQ, we will not have any problem because there we have to just circle the correct answer, correct option. However, in descriptive portion, we have four questions. Question number one is compulsory 15 marks, and out of those three, we have to attempt any two. So first of all, I always recommend that avoid doing question number one first. Pick question number one at last because it is a lengthy question. It will consume your time. So I would highly recommend pick your question number out of those three which you have picked two. Please do them first and then come to your question number one. Let's say you have picked question number two and question number four. Now the question might be, sir, which question we should do first, two or four? The question which you are most comfortable with, please attempt that question first. You have to give your impression, best impression to the examiner. So let's say you are more comfortable with question number four compared to question number two. So please answer question number four first. Also, answer all the parts together. Let's say question number four has three parts, 4A, B, and C. It should be answered together, not necessarily in the same order. If you want to answer 4B first, you can do that, 4B and then 4A and 4C. You can do that, but it is necessary that it should be solved together. Once you are done with question number four, all the parts, then come to question number two, right? Solve all the parts together and then go back to your question number one, which is your total income question. So it is necessary that all the parts must be answered together. And we all know that for every question, you have to use the fresh page. For question number four, if you are done with question number four, start your question number two from the very fresh page. Okay, there might be other question also. Sir, whether we should start the subparts also from very fresh page. Let's say question number four has two subparts, A and B. So should we start it from the fresh page or not? See, it depends. See, if let's say if it depends, ideally, I would recommend you, yes, you can start it from the fresh page. But it depends. Let's say if question number four has two parts. 4A is you are able to complete that in half of the page or more than half page is consumed. Then you can go to next page and you can solve 4B. But let's say question number four has 5 or 4 parts, and these are very small parts. You can answer them in just 2 or 3 lines. So it is not required to answer each and every part from the fresh page. It will not look good, right? You don't have to irritate the examiner also. Please don't irritate the examiner also. So if it is very small parts, it can be answered in 3 or 4 lines. So you can solve 4A, then 4B, 4C and all. But yes, try to give at least 1 or 2 lines in between. Please leave 1 or 2 lines in between, leave them blank, and then start your 4B and 4C so that the examiner can able to identify, yes, this is 4A, this is 4B, this is 4C. This is very important. Correct. Okay. Question number one, especially the working note, because generally question number one has working notes. So because you are writing a professional examination, and your answer sheet should also look very professional. I'm telling you. So how you should do it? See, it is good that you should make working notes, but if you are making many working notes, you are making 2, 3, 4 working notes, it will consume your time. So please use your mind judiciously. So let's say if I'm answering total income question, let's say it has income from house property also, income from PGBP also, and income from capital gain also. Let's say, and it's a total income question, or we need to compute the tax liability. So let's say if house property, should I make 3 working notes for house property? Should I make separate working note, PGBP separate, capital gain separate? No. See, let's say if house property can be answered in 2 or 3 lines. So I would recommend you, do not make any separate working note for house property, solve it there as it is. Let's say other head is PGBP And we understand that total income question is mainly of PGBP and it will take some good space over there. So instead of writing in the main answer itself, you can make a separate note for PGBP, correct? And then let's say the next head is capital gain, and you find that capital gain can be computed in just 3-4 lines. So avoid making a separate note for that and compute that capital gain there itself. Why I'm saying this? Because see, making notes is a good recommendation, but if you are making so many notes, it will eat up your time. It will certainly eat up your time. So avoid making unnecessary notes, which are very important. You can make them, but yes, which can be done in 3-4 lines. Avoid making a separate working note for that. Next important point is that your paper should look professional. Your paper should look neat. I'm not saying that go and improve your handwriting in next 3-4 days. No, it will not be improved in next 3-4 days, right? And it is not required also for examination. I am saying that your paper should look professional, and how you will make it professional, it's very easy. See, let's say if it is a theory question, instead of writing in big paragraphs, I would request you to give the answer point wise. And it might also happen that there are certain answers which cannot be given, where you cannot make points of it. Still, I would request you to make small paragraphs. At least you can compile your entire answer by making 2 or 3 small paragraphs. And if you can give a heading, a small heading, a subheading to that paragraph, that would be superb, right? So your paper should look professional. Also remember that institute gives stepwise marks also. So it is not necessary that your final answer should match with the suggested answer which the examiner has. It's okay. See, if it matches with the final answer, then definitely you are at the advantageous position. See, let's say if I am correcting any answer sheet and I have the suggested answer from the institute and I am correcting your answer sheet, if the final answer matches with the suggested answer, obviously I will have a good impression in my mind. Now I would be quite lenient while checking your paper, and I will give you good marks. Second thing is that if your student answer doesn't match with the final answer, doesn't match with my answer, still I will see that how you have presented the paper. If you have made sufficient good working notes, if you have the steps which you have made, let's say you have computed the house property income correctly, you have computed, let's say PGBP income is not correct, but capital gain is correct, you will get marks out of it. So there is no need to worry about it. Even your steps carries marks, right? Next important thing is, and this is very important, if you have taken any assumption while giving your answer, you have to tell the examiner, boss, I have taken this. Don't write boss over there, but please write your assumption. It is very important. So if you have taken any assumption while giving your answer, write that assumption by way of note. Got it? Next, do not overload your answer. Be very specific. If the examiner has asked you something very specifically, you do not have to overload the answer by giving unnecessary details. See, for example, if I tell you in May 2024 examination, there was a question. It was asking that as per the CBT notification, who are the person who are compulsory required to file their return, even if they don't satisfy the basic exemption requirement. So we understand that if the question is asking just to write the cases where the person is required to file the return, so please don't unnecessarily give the details of due dates and you are giving other details, unnecessary information of 139(1). No, be very specific. You can simply write as per the CBT notification. If you don't remember the notification, it's okay. But otherwise, if the notification number is mentioned in the question itself, then you can use it. As per the CBT notification, these are the person who are required to file their returns. You can simply write that if the person's turnover during the year, if he's carrying business is more than 60 lakh rupees, then he is required to file the return. Second, if the turnover of the profession is more than 10 lakh rupees, he is required to file the return, and so on. So unnecessary, do not overburden your answer. It will again eat up your time because your time is very crucial. And I'm coming on this point that the second last thing is that, which is manage your time efficiently. See, you have 180 minutes, 3 hours, that is 180 minutes, and We have 100 marks to answer. So each mark, if I relate, it is equal to 1.8 minutes. So if you have a question of 5 marks, so we should not give more than, if you multiply it by 1.8, you will get 9 minutes. So you should not give more than 9 minutes to that particular question. If you are giving more time to that, even 1 or 2 minutes is okay. Plus minus 1, 2 is okay. But if you are giving unnecessary more time to that particular question, it is now understood that some of your questions will remain unanswered. So please, you have to use your time efficiently. Even I would suggest that you should maintain your speed from the very beginning. Even if you work on fourth or fifth gear, go and work on sixth gear, right? So please maintain your speed from the very beginning. Don't waste your time in answering your first, because sometimes students, what they do is, while answering their first question, they write very slowly, very beautifully. They used to decorate their answer sheets. No, not at all required. Please maintain your speed from the very beginning, right? And I'm not saying that you should go over speed. If I'm saying that you go on sixth gear, I'm not saying that do not over speed anywhere, right? You have to maintain sufficient speed that you will be able to complete your paper, because you have to keep on checking your calculations also. If there is any calculation error, then it might happen that your 1 or 2 marks might be deducted. So you have to keep on checking your calculations also. So at least maintain good speed. I'm not saying very fast, but yes, a little faster. Last and the most important thing is that please maintain your confidence. See, you have done such a hard work. Remember that it will pay. Don't lose confidence. I am telling you that the last day, in fact a day before your examination, is a game changer. It is a game changer. In fact, use that day very efficiently, use that day very productively. Whatever you have learned in last 6, 7, 8 months, that one day will cover everything. I'm telling you. So please use that particular day very efficiently. Do not waste that day. It's a game changer. Even let's say your first paper, second paper, or any of the paper was not that up to the mark. If you have not performed that well in that paper, please forget about it. Now focus on your next paper. Don't waste that particular day in regretting what I have done in my last paper. No, it has gone. You have to now focus on your next paper, and this particular day, a day before your examination, is very very important. Also, at the same time, take proper rest, take proper sleep minimum. If I'm saying, if I've said that please use that day effectively, I'm not saying that you will not sleep and you will use your entire day, entire night. No, that is very wrong. You have to take proper rest, proper sleep, at least for 6 hours, at least for 6 hours, maximum for 7 hours. Don't take 8 or 9 hours sleep. That you can do after your examination. But yes, take proper sleep also before your examination, right? And I'm very much sure that you will be successful in this very particular examination which you are going to appear right now, right? My best wishes are with you. You will come out with flying colors. Thank you so much and all the best.